Hey everybody, my name is Dave Ward. Thanks for joining us tonight to learn the details, a little bit more about becoming a Team Beachbody coach, who we are, what we do, and a little bit of the details on how to get started. So I've got a little slideshow presentation that I'm going to queue up here. Just need to share my screen, and then we'll kind of go through that. So this is really the question of the evening here is will you be joining us on our little adventure? This is a picture from a couple of years ago when we had a big group of people in town for a team retreat we did that was just such a blast. We just had another one of these. Not quite as big of a group of people, but again, super productive and just awesome to be surrounded by such fantastic people. So as we get started with this, I want to just talk to you a little bit first about who I am. I think it's always important to understand who's speaking to you. If you see me on Instagram, I'm Dave That Outdoor Guy, and the reason for that is that I'm a surfer and I like to fish and I ski, and my son and I are backpackers and hikers. I'm a semi-professional, unpaid, barefoot tree climber. I like to ride mountain bikes, and I even snowboard on occasion. Basically, if it happens outside, I'm probably into it on some level. And if I'm not yet, I probably will be. Rock climbing seems to be the one thing that I haven't yet gotten into, but it's just going to take me to find a friend who wants to go rock climbing. I'll probably get into that too. I've also married. I've got 2 kids. You see lots of pictures of my son here. He and I do a lot of stuff together through Boy Scouts. He's 16 now. And then I've got a daughter who I cannot believe I'm about to tell you is almost 19, which is fantastic. And what I think is interesting about this slide is, as you see this is really who I've become over the last decade. Before I was doing all this fun stuff, I was practicing law. I went to law school at Willamette University in Salem, Oregon, then practiced in the Southwest Washington, Northwest Oregon area, Portland, for those of you who know your geography real well, for a while, and then moved down to the Phoenix area to make the big bucks, working for the big boy law firms, doing mostly real estate development. Did that for a few years, and then something that I could have never foreseen, I think a lot of us didn't foresee this happening, happened, which is that on September 15th of 2008, one of the largest investment banks in the world, Lehman Brothers, up and declared bankruptcy. After about a week of saying, is everything okay? They just said, we're going bankrupt. And that turned the world financial markets upside down. I was doing primarily real estate development at the time. And if you know anything about that real estate development game, it really relies on people being able to borrow money. And people could no longer borrow money. And when you can't borrow money, that system falls apart. And it fell apart. And it fell apart in a hurry. In September of 2008, I was one of 9 and the most senior of 9 associates working at a law firm. By the end of 2008, 3 of them were gone. By the end of 2009, there were only 3 of us left. And the writing was on the wall for me. I knew that, I knew a couple of things. First of all, I knew that I was at some point, it was gonna come to an end, and that I needed to have a plan B. I also knew that I was not happy doing what I was doing. This is the stuff that I wanted to do. This is how I wanted to live my life. I wanted to spend time with my kids, and I didn't have the ability to do that because I was always at work. I was working for large law firms where they put crazy demands on your time, and I had no time to do any of these things you see here on the screen. Beachbody was the thing that opened all this up for me, and I'll just kind of preface all of this with telling you that, we have an income disclaimer that I'm going to just give to you really quickly, which is that my results are not necessarily typical. It's all based on how much work you put into this and how much time you're willing to put into it. The good news is that everybody's got different goals. Everybody's got a different plan. You may have absolutely no interest in riding around in a helicopter and snowboarding on this line you see in the center of the page. But I know you've got an interest in doing something. And what we're really here tonight to talk about is whether there's a way for Team Beachbody to help you get wherever it is that you want to go. And, the only impersonal thing about these webinars is I can't really talk to you one-on-one and figure those things out. But we're going to have an opportunity to do that. A week from tonight, we do new coach orientation. And we're going to start talking about that. We're going to start helping you develop a plan for where you want to go. So now that we've sort of talked a little bit about that, let's talk about Beachbody and life before Team Beachbody. There actually was life before Team Beachbody. One of my friends is on the call tonight, Mike Karpinko, and he was a big part of life before Team Beachbody. In 1998, Beachbody was started by a couple of guys named Carl Deichler and John Congdon. They're our CEO and president, respectively. And Carl and John were working for an infomercial company, doing a lot of kind of hokey stuff, 3-minute abs and abba-dabba-do-you chair and kind of a bunch of nonsense that didn't really work. And they had an idea to create health and fitness programs that were actually going to get people results. And believe it or not, that was kind of revolutionary in the infomercial market business. Doesn't seem like it now, but back in 1998, we're talking 20 years ago, this was a revolutionary idea to actually create things that were hard. And they started coming out with some of these programs. You see the little red arrow on the screen, 2003. That's kind of where I come into the picture with this program, Power 90, and then later P90X. Those were the first programs I did. There was no opportunity to coach people then. It was just people working out. And we had created a health and fitness community back then. This is kind of pre-Facebook, if you'll remember back this far. I know I'm like showing my dinosaur teeth at this point, but this was before Facebook. And so we were on message boards, and we just had created this group of people who were doing all these crazy challenges, push-up challenges, things like that, pull-up challenges, all kinds of stuff, but generally really supporting each other. And that led Carl and John to an interesting idea. What if we created an opportunity where all these people who are already supporting each other for free, doing it for free, could get paid? They could get paid to do that. What would happen if we did that? And that's where Team Beachbody was born. And it really starts with the mission statement of the company. And if you get involved with our team, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot because it's really kind of the guiding standard for everything we do. And the mission statement of Team Beachbody is to help people achieve their goals and live healthier and more fulfilling lives. I want to break that down for you. Okay. Help people achieve their goals. On no level at any time am I worried about my goals when it comes to helping you. I know what my goals are. They're really super clearly defined. I've achieved a lot of them. I have more that I'm working on right now. I'm going to get where I'm going to go regardless of whether you get where you want to go or not. So I don't really put a focus on that. Where I put my focus is on helping other people achieve their goals. So for example, your goal is that you want to lose 30 pounds and you recognize that by becoming a coach, you can get a 25% discount. Cool, let's do that. That's your goal. If your goal is to earn $500 to $1,000 a month and maybe cover a car payment or something like that, cool, that's your goal. And I'm going to help you do that. So helping people achieve their goals is really where everything starts. But living healthier and more fulfilling lives, I think sometimes people view us as a weight loss company. I don't view us as a weight loss company. I view us as a health and wellness company. I think that's what we do best. We help people live healthier and more fulfilling lives. And we do that through the system that we've created that I'm going to show to you in just a minute. What's been exciting about being a coach over the last now 12 years is all the stuff that has come out. We've got a calendar here. This one just goes through 2016. I'm trying to find an updated image of this. But you see a number of just kind of really milestone things here. What you see generally is that we're cranking out a lot of products. We're talking about, on average, 3 new fitness programs every year and some new supplements every year. And we're starting to really ramp that up. A couple I want to highlight are, first of all, Shakeology. In 2009, Shakeology is really our flagship product. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. When Shakeology came out, I had gotten really into triathlon and cycling. Something was wrong with me and I didn't know what it was, but I was having all kinds of problems. I was putting demands on my body and I wasn't able to fuel it in a way that it could keep up with what was going on. Shakeology came out. I started taking Shakeology. All that stuff stopped. It was really weird. I don't know exactly why. I just know that I've been taking Shakeology for 10 years now and I haven't had any major illnesses. I don't get sick. When I do, it's very quick, a couple days and I'm all good. And Shakeology has just become a staple for me. It's what I have for breakfast every single day. Next one is here in 2015. This is when Beachbody On Demand launched. We'll talk about that a little bit too. Hopefully you've had some exposure to one of or both of these products. Most people who kind of get this far and want more information about becoming a coach have spent a little bit of time either drinking Shakeology or using On Demand or hopefully both. And so you've got some general familiarity, but Beachbody is the Netflix of fitness, as we like to say. The next one that came out was a real game changer for me as well, which is the Beachbody Performance line, which is a comprehensive supplement line for performance athletes. We have a pre-workout formula. We have a during workout hydration electrolyte formula, sort of a healthy version of Gatorade, if you will. We have a post-workout protein BCAA drink, a nighttime shake, which not only helps you sleep, it helps with recovery when you sleep, and then also a creatine supplement. The great thing for me about Beachbody Performance is that all these supplements are tested through the World Anti-Doping Association. Again, I mentioned I'm a cyclist. We know they're clean. We know they're all natural. We know that whatever it says on the label is exactly what is in the product, nothing more and nothing less, because these products are heavily tested by these independent third parties. So super game changer for me. Here's just a little bit of stuff that has happened over the past year. We're here in October of 2019. Last October, we launched a product called Shift Shop. Then we launched a product called Transform 20 in the first quarter of 2019. Then in the second quarter, we launched a product called the Ultimate Portion Fix and live filmed 21 Day Fix. If you've had any exposure to 21 Day Fix, it's one of our most popular programs. They filmed it live in real time. It was really cool the way they did it. And then they did that same thing with 21 Day Fix Extreme. We introduced stick packs of Energize, and we introduced a fruit punch version of Energize. We also introduced a vegan version of that recovery formula I talked about. So if you're vegan, we're really progressive with starting to launch vegan products, not starting to launch, but with launching vegan products. There's Vegan Shakeology. We now have Vegan Recover. We're going to start to see more and more options for both a whey-based supplement as well as it's mostly pea protein. But if you have questions about the details, just get with whoever sent you to this call. And then just recently, back in July, we launched a skin, hair, and nails collagen line. So, and we're expecting, and then what's not on this calendar, but what we did do is just a few days ago, we launched two other programs. One back in July called Morning Meltdown 100, and then another one just a few days ago at the end of September that's called 6 Weeks of the Work, which is one of the hardest things I've ever seen. It's incredibly difficult. What's cool about it is we have something for everybody. What's exciting too, it's exciting time to be a coach because we're on the move. We are currently operating in the USA and Canada. We were in the US for, I guess, about almost 10 years. About 8 years. Then moved into Canada, moved into the UK about 2 years ago. We'll be starting the European expansion in France in the second quarter of 2020. Should move fairly quickly into the rest of the European Union countries. But once you're in there, and it's pretty easy to expand from there. Next up, we don't really know, but we've been given pretty good information that within the next 5 years, we'll either be going somewhere in Asia or Australia. The Asia-Australia expansion is sort of a co-op. Central and South America is also in the picture. So got a lot of future expansions happening. It's a very exciting time to be a coach because the growth that's going to happen over the next several years as we expand into these new markets is exciting, as I said earlier. So let's talk a little bit about what makes Team Beachbody unique. I'm sorry if this little bit of my screen is on top of that. What makes us unique? I think what makes the company unique is that we have this great and super effective formula of fitness, nutrition, peer support, and rewards. And I want to just kind of break down each one of those and talk about them individually. But if you just look at this little matrix we have set up, if you have any one of these that are really missing, maybe rewards you can kind of get away without having, but fitness, nutrition, and peer support for sure are the pillars of what we do. And rewards is just a major bonus. So let's talk a little bit about that. Oops. Let's talk about fitness, first of all. I was thinking of ways to introduce on-demand, and I came across this video, and I just want to show you this video because I think it sums it up really well. Here we go. Cardio.
How was your workout? It's okay.
I love that video because I was totally that guy who thought the in-home workouts, it just would never be effective. They couldn't be hard. I was so used to 3-minute abs and the abba-dabba-doo chair and all this nonsense I saw on TV. I never thought any of this could be effective. And now we have literally millions of people working out in their homes instead of driving off to the gym. You saw a little bit of a preview. Hopefully, again, you've had some exposure to Beachbody On Demand. It is like a Netflix of fitness. At this point, I think we're up to 38 programs that are on Beachbody On Demand. These are full-scale programs. They vary in length. You know, the short ones are usually about 6 weeks, but we have stuff like a 3-week yoga retreat. For example, if you're interested in getting started with yoga, we can take you from zero to, you know, experienced yoga. Yoga is pretty challenging, but we can take you from zero to knowing what you're doing and being comfortable in 3 weeks. And then most of the programs are 6 to 8 weeks. Again, right now we've got a program that's called Morning Meltdown 100, and it's about doing 100 workouts. So it doesn't have a specified time. It's not 100 days. It's 100 workouts, and it's 100 workouts when you can get them in. Some people do doubles. Some people do 3-4 workouts a week. It's up to you. And again, I just view what we do as helping people achieve their goals and supporting them and living healthier, more fulfilling lives, whatever that looks like for you. So fitness is really the pillar. That's where you see most of our new product production is going to come out in the fitness arena. Let's talk a little bit about nutrition. Shakeology, as I mentioned earlier, is our flagship product. That's the go-to. This is what I've had for the last 10 years, almost every day as my breakfast. That's how I drink it. I really like the chocolate vegan with some berries in it and a banana with almond milk and some ice. Like pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Some people just put it in a shaker cup and shake it up. We do have a lot of different flavors. We're coming out with new flavors right now. We have a vegan pumpkin spice out because we're here in fall. If I'm recording this in October of 2019. And right now we have vegan pumpkin spice out, which is just as a special release for the fall. Pretty soon, as we move into the more holiday season, we're gonna have peppermint mocha as a specialty flavor. They've kind of teased us with a lot of different specialty flavors. So I don't know what else is gonna be coming out, but I know that my go-to is still gonna be chocolate vegan. I'm not a vegan, I should say that, but I just love the way it tastes. I like the texture and I love the taste, and I like that I get a lot of diversity of protein because I'm probably gonna be eating chicken tonight. We also have specific nutrition programs that are on a more advanced level. The first one's the Ultimate Portion Fix. Ultimate Portion Fix is based on Adam Calabrese's program using the containers. You can see in the picture first, the one in the red dress there. You got the little containers. You probably have had some exposure to these as well. These are super, super popular. And essentially, it's just a well-rounded portion control based program that has a lot of structure to it. And there's certain people who thrive within that structure. They really need that structure. Personally, I'm more of a 2B mindset person. That's Alana Molstein, you see in the middle with her fingers up, with her, we call them the 2 bunnies, which are just 4 super simple rules for how to live life and add some structure to things, which is just, you know, drink water before anything else, like drink more water, eat mostly vegetables, weigh yourself every morning, and then just track all that stuff and see how you do. And if, you know, you gain a little bit of weight, it's probably because one of these other ones is just a little bit off. Super, super simple, very flexible, and with a nice like timing of how to sort of eat those things. And also, I think there's a piece of, I know there's a piece of Alana's program that really wants to diagnose, you know, what's going on. You know, she had struggled with eating when she was younger, and she's got a big focus on let's get in between the ears and figure out, you know, what's happening and how can we reframe things maybe. So, you know, for people who are like emotional eaters, for example, this has just been such a great addition to what we do. The Ultimate Reset's the next one you see there. The Ultimate Reset is our 21-day cleanse. It's incredible to see what can happen to your, not just your body, but your mind, your health, how, you know, your sleep patterns. when you take 21 days and you cut out sugar, alcohol, caffeine, a lot of things like that. Take a little break, eat a primarily vegetarian diet for the majority of the program, and take some gentle supplements that help you release all this gunk that we tend to hold on to in our bodies. And the Beachbody Ultimate Reset is something that I highly recommend. If you've kind of had exposure to these other things and you're thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I've seen everything. If you haven't seen the Reset, I think you're missing out on what is maybe our most effective nutrition program. Peer support. This for me is the deal. I see a lot of pictures of me and my friends here. Before I got involved with Beachbody, I was really a loner. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was mostly busy just working all the time. But I was also working in an area where I was really angry all the time. You know, I was like, spent a lot of my days just kind of hanging up on people and arguing about where the comma goes in a sentence, or trying to get some politician to vote in favor of my project. It wasn't fun, and it wasn't a place where I was making friends. Peer support is really, I think, one of the things I love the most about Beachbody. The way I look at it is that I'm surrounded by this group of people that, you know, when I do well, they're the first people to, you know, call me up or send me a text or whatever, and pat me on the back and tell me, you know, wow, that was pretty amazing what you just did. And I, you know, it's awesome to see you succeeding. And they're also the same people that when I fall down, they're the first people to pick me up and dust me off and, you know, give me a pat on the butt and say, get back in the game. You know what you're doing here. And you can do this, and let me know how I can support you in doing that. That's not something I ever saw as a piece of getting involved as a coach. You know, I got involved as a coach because my neighbors were getting their houses foreclosed on, and I didn't want to lose my house. And what I found was an incredible community of people who I've just kind of fallen in love with over the years. And so peer support, I think, is super important. It doesn't just happen on the coach level. You know, we support our customers. I'll show you a picture in a minute when we get to rewards and tell you a little story about that. But we support our customers in a lot of different ways. Every coach has a little bit different style with the way they do that. Most of us run groups where we just support people along the way and make sure that help people stay accountable, help people achieve their goals. Rewards, I mentioned you're going to see a picture. You see me sort of there in the center right on the screen. That's one of my customers, Bob Taylor. Bob was a guy who was turning 50. When he was 49, right? I think he was actually on a trip on his 49th birthday, broke his leg in a whitewater rafting accident. And he was already about 50 pounds overweight. And after he broke his leg, he gained another 50 in a hurry. And he came to me in early 2014. And he said, I want to lose 50 pounds by my 50th birthday. That was his goal, 50 by 50. And we buckled down. He did all the work. You know, I didn't do the work. I didn't go do any push-ups. I'm not the one who cleaned out his pantry and got rid of all the crap that he was eating. I'm not the one who stopped drinking soda and all the other stuff that he was doing that were pushing him further away from his goals. He did the work. I just showed him the way. That's all I did. And that's all we do as coaches, is we show people the way and we show people the path. And then we do exactly what my friends do. You know, when Bob does well, you see the smile on my face here when he's holding up this check. I'll explain that in a second. But when Bob does well, I'm patting him on the back. He's done multiple Ironmans since he did this. He ended up losing 97 pounds and was one of the winners in this contest, as you can see that I'm about to describe. But, you know, when Bob falls down, I'm the first guy to say, hey, Bob, nope, we're not doing that, dude. That's not the plan. Remember the plan? Plan's 50 by 50. Ended up losing 97 by 50, which was pretty cool. So this is all about the Beachbody Challenge, is what we call our main reward thing. We do a lot of other little stuff here too. You know, if you do a program, some programs you can get a t-shirt. There may be some different rewards that happen throughout the course of the year, especially for coaches. We do all kinds of incentives. We do a trip every year that you can qualify for. They're constantly giving away hats and backpacks and shirts and all kinds of different stuff. But the Beachbody Challenge is the one I want to zoom in on. So here's what we do. We have two categories, men and women. Within those two categories, there's 4 different age groups. What Beachbody does throughout the course of the year is they pick 4 men and 4 women, one from each of those age groups. They get $25,000, which is why I'm seeing $25,000 here with Bob. Then 1 man and 1 woman get 100. These are the winners from this year. This is my favorite part of our annual summit, we call it. It's our annual convention. This is where we reward these people for just changing their lives. And I don't have time to get into their individual stories, but they are truly incredible and very inspirational. Both incredible people who had great weight loss transformations, But really, again, beyond that, I think, boxing us in as a weight loss company is really the wrong way to look at Team Beachbody. We're really a health and wellness company. And I think if you I haven't talked to Hannah, but I have talked to Chris. And when you talk to these people, that's really what they're talking to you about. Yes, they lost a lot of weight, but what they did was fundamentally change their lives and become healthier people who are happier. And that's one of the things I just love about what we do as coaches. Let's talk a little bit about what coaches do and what we don't do, and who you need to be and who you don't need to be. Let's start with who you don't need to be. You don't need to be a fitness or nutrition expert. I am not a fitness and nutrition expert. I'm constantly consulting people around me who are smarter than me in this particular area as I try to get better and I try to grow and I try to learn more. You don't have to already be at your fitness and nutrition goals. I think that's a super important one, especially if the reason you're here is kind of taking a look at this and going, what I'm really interested in is just getting my discount. And we'll talk about that in just a sec, but that's a great way to get started. You don't have to be an experienced salesperson either. And we have this saying down at the bottom of the screen here: learn, practice, succeed, teach, which is really the motto of our training program. And basically, you're going to learn new skills. And if you think about your own health and fitness journey or anything you've ever learned how to do, it probably went something like this. You learn new skills, then you practice those skills for a while. If the things you were practicing were the right things, you had some success. What we're going to ask you to do is turn around and teach that to other people. Pay it forward. More than happy to teach you new skills. More than happy to help you practice those skills. And if you do those things, you're going to have some success. It's up to you to then turn around and teach, which is what coaches are really all about. Here's what I think a coach should be. As somebody who's committed to sharing how people can change their lives and achieve their goals. If you're on this call tonight, it's because somebody did something that inspired you. Now, I don't know what that particular thing was, but something they did spoke to you and you said, I want to be like that. If you're committed to sharing that with other people, and again, just teaching them how to do it, you're a pretty good candidate to be a coach. The second thing is just being committed to being proof the products work. Work out, take Shakeology, drink the performance line, achieve your own health and fitness goals, and be that example for other people. And the last one is improving and developing yourself. I think this is one that's, again, a super overlooked because we're not a weight loss company. We're a health and wellness company. And wellness is about improving yourself. What's amazing about being involved with a company like ours, where people are constantly trying to get better and trying to push themselves to be better people, okay? Be better people, not necessarily be fitter, but be better people. Treat each other better. We create an incredible community surrounding around those ideas. And when you surround yourself with people who all want to get better, it's amazing how everybody rowing in the same direction. You go a lot faster than you would if you're rowing alone. Okay, let's talk about why people coach. And these are the 4 major reasons. They're not the only reasons. They just happen to be the most common reasons that I see when people talk to me and I ask them, what's this going to do for you? The first one is that they want to get a 25% discount on products. Coaches get a 25% discount on products. So, for example, if Shakeology is your thing and you're paying $130 US, again, I just work in the US, I apologize for that. If that's what you're paying, now you're going to pay $97, okay? Plus shipping and handling and tax and all that other stuff. But just base costs, that's a 25% discount on your products. That's pretty attractive, okay? And that works pretty much across the board with everything we've got. The apparel's a little bit different, and there's a few other things. But for the most part, you get a 25% discount on products. The second reason people get involved is they go, well, having a 25% discount on my products is cool, but what if I just got 2, 3, 4 new friends every month to just do what I'm doing and come and join the group that my coach already has in place, where we're drinking Shakeology and doing whatever program we're all doing together? What if I just did that and invited a few people every month? You probably earn enough money to get your products paid for. Okay, that's about the number. Is on average about 3 or 4 people a month. If you can do that, depending on what your products are, if you're taking a whole ton of stuff, you're going to need a little bit more. But let's just use Shakeology as the example. There's a really great opportunity to do that. The third group of people, this is by far the largest group of people that get involved with our coaching program. But by far the largest group of people on our team are here because they want to earn $500 to maybe $1,500. It says $1,000 there, but $1,500 a month. They use that money for whatever reason they want to do that. Sometimes it's a car payment. Student loans has been a huge one over the last couple of years. People are just overwhelmed with the student loan debt, credit card debt. Some people want to save up some money to go on a vacation with their family. Other people, they just want to be able to go and get a massage or get their nails done or their hair or whatever without having to answer to anybody about it and taking it out of their own little account. This is a great way to do that without putting in a ton of time where you're going to have zero overhead really to get started, because you don't need to start a business. As you can see, I'm not in some fancy office. This is my home. Okay. This is just where I live. This is where I work from. And the last group of people are people like me, and there's not that many of us. And most of us started out to make $500 to $1,000 a month. And then we started to see this thing and started to see it on a bigger level, and we grew. And the one thing I want to just tell you is that wherever you see yourself on the spectrum, you're not stuck. You're not limited. You got to pick today where you're at. And most people, I don't even want you to pick that. What I want you to say is, this is where I want to start. And then you can grow to wherever it is that you want to grow. All right, let's talk a little bit about how we get paid. Okay, how do you earn $1,000 a month, for example, right? How do you earn enough money to get your supplements paid for? How do you, earn enough money to be a full-time coach? There's really two ways that we get paid, okay? To keep this part pretty simple. The first one is retail sales, okay? This is your effort. People generally understand this one because it's pretty straightforward. If you sell a product, you get a commission. That most products have a 25% commission on it. So as I told you earlier, if you get a 25% discount, your cost for Shakeology goes from $130 US to $97 US. The difference between those two is your commission. It's like $32.46, I want to say, is the exact amount of US dollars that you make when you sell something like Shakeology. So it's just 25% on most things. On Beachbody On Demand, which is really one of our best selling products, super accessible to people, and it's what has most people interested in starting the process, it's 40%, okay? Then we also have apparel and some other things where the commissions are a little bit different. But for the most part, super simple. Sell a product, get a commission. Very, very straightforward. The second one is the one I think a lot of people get hung up on, and it's team productivity bonus. And this is based on your team, okay? Now, if it has escaped you up to this point, Team Beachbody is a network marketing company, okay? What that means is that your income is going to be limited by whether or not you get people involved. Okay, you can work insanely hard doing that first thing, okay? Or you can bring some people in and use the systems that we have in place to teach them how to do that and have them bring some people in. As people come in underneath you, your team grows. If those people are productive, and only if they're productive, you can earn bonuses based on that productivity. That's a real simple way to talk about how that second form of commission works. Here's the thing, okay? A lot of times, and over the 12 years of doing this, I've seen a lot of people who seem to think that this is some sort of a lottery ticket, okay? That for a very low cost of entry, you're buying a lottery ticket. And guess what? It's a winner. And you're not going to have to do anything, and this thing is just going to grow like crazy. I just want to take that out of the equation right now. That's not how this works, okay? This is not some get-rich-quick thing. This is a work hard and build a business that gets you to your goals thing, all right? If your goal is to get a 25% discount, that's very easy to do. And you don't need to build a team. If your goal is to get your products paid for, you really need to build a team. If you get into the arena where you're wanting to earn $500 to $1,000 a month and beyond, and you want that to be consistent, reliable, stable income, you need to build a team. And we'll show you how to do all these things. But these are really the two different areas and ways that we get compensated as coaches for helping people achieve their goals and live healthier and fulfilling lives. If you ask me, that sounds pretty cool. And it has been for the last 12 years. Okay, this brings me to what to expect from me and from our team. And I want to just run you through what you can expect from our team if you sign up to be a coach with us. The first thing is new coach training. Next Tuesday night, we will be doing a new coach orientation. So if you're watching this presentation and it's compelling and you talk to your sponsor, we'll talk about that in a minute, you decide to get started, you don't just sign up and everybody says, well, good luck. That's not how it works. Okay, we're going to do a new coach orientation. On that call, we're going to help you put together a plan for you. Okay, and then your sponsor, me, if that's your sponsor, will help you go through that program and help you chunk it out so that you can get to where you want to go. We have weekly team calls. We do regular webinars just like this one, okay? We do regular webinars just like this one where you can invite people and they can learn more about the business from somebody like me. It won't be me every week. Somebody like me who's been around for a while. Not all of us has been around for 12 years. We've got people who have had a lot of success just in the last year. And I want you to hear from those people as well. Leadership and mentoring, this is one of the big things for me. This is my passion and something I love doing. We have a Facebook team page, which is the sort of way we facilitate a lot of this stuff. Recognition and accountability and fun events throughout the year. You see a couple of images on the screen there. I'm not sure if this picture was taken in New Orleans or Nashville. Pretty sure it was one of the two. May have been Indianapolis. We've been there too. We've been to Las Vegas. We've been to Los Angeles. This year we're going back to New Orleans, but we move around the country and we do these events. This event happened to be at Summit. You also see the image that says coaching there. That's our coach training website. And that's where all of the training comes through. And again, on the new coach orientation, we'll help you get started with the training plan right for you. So this is really the question is, are you ready? And if you are, the best way, the easiest way to get going is with the All Access Challenge Pack, because it gives you two of the major pillars that we talked about earlier, which is your fitness through 1 year of all access. I got a typo on that. Sorry about that. 1 year of all access to Beachbody On Demand. Then your first shipment of Shakeology on Home Direct. You heard me talk a little bit earlier about the Performance Line, which I like as well. There's also an option to get Performance Line instead of Shakeology or both. And then the Beachbody Guide to Nutrition. So that basic pack is $160. We have a lot of other packages. Again, if you're interested in Shakeology plus the Beachbody Performance Line, that's another pack and the price is a little bit different, but you just want to start. This is really the base start point that you want to think about getting involved so that you have access to all this stuff. Also got options if you've already got an on-demand membership. Don't worry about that. We got an option that takes that into account and lowers the price. So as we kind of wrap up here, these are the three questions that I want you to just kind of stir around and think about a little bit. The first one is, what can becoming a coach do for me? I talked a lot about the friendships that I made because that wasn't part of the equation for me when I started this business. And it turned out I wasn't thinking broadly enough, and it turned out that was really what it was for me. Is the best part of it has been the friendships that I've made. But you want to think about what it is about for you, because again, as a sponsor, my job is to help you achieve your goals. If you don't know what they are, we're going to have a real hard time getting there. So I want you to think about what becoming a coach can do for you. The next one is, who can I help? Right away, again, like if you're one of those people and you just think, I'm like, oh, maybe I could just get my supplements for free. Well, who are the 3 or 4 people you're going to help in order to do that? And the final one is, what are your dreams? I showed you a lot of pictures of me doing fun stuff and in particular, hanging out with my son. That was for me, my dream. I just wanted to be the dad who was, walking my kids to school in the morning and picking them up from school in the afternoon and sitting right here at my desk when they walk through the front door and asking them how their day was. And most of the time the day was great, but on occasion something happened and they needed somebody to talk to. And I've been able to be there for them for, the last 9 years. And in those formative years of, they're 16 and 19, it's since they were 10 and 8. It's been pretty incredible. And I'm lucky to have been able to do that. So I'm going to check real quick and just see if we have questions. If we don't, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Doesn't look like we have any questions. We did have a bunch of people turn out tonight, which is great. I hope this was informative. The next thing to do here is to get in touch with the person that invited you. Okay, get in touch with the person who invited you. They're probably going to reach out to you. You should expect that. And just have this conversation with them. Okay, is this the right fit for you? What are your goals? And how can we match Team Beachbody up with those things? Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Okay, but I think that if your goals relate to living a happier, a healthier, and more fulfilling life, we probably have a solution for you. So hope that's been informative. Thanks for turning out tonight. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic night, and I hope you'll be joining us next weekend or next week, next Tuesday night on our new coach orientation.